Hey guys, welcome back to Tidbits and Tea. So I got a sketch I did for you for Mother's Day. Got two main characters here. I'm not sure if they're husband and wife or if they're good friends. And I have a reason that I'm not sure. And I just saw this down here now that I turned the video on. That's a bunny, a hidden bunny. There is a hidden bunny in between. So this gentleman here, he's thinking about a conversation he had with this man up here about this group here. You can see how he's kind of looking over here. His focus is not on the woman. His focus is on this group here, and he's thinking about what they talked about. That I can see pretty loud and clear. Looks like a female. I'm not sure if this is male or female. Someone's kind of peering out here, watching him. Then you got somebody that looks a little oblivious here. And then you got a gentleman here who is thinking about a bunny rabbit on his left side. So he is definitely thinking about a sexual partner. And then on his right side, he's kind of looking down, kind of sad and in his head. On his chest, he has a huge bunny. So he does have a sexual partner that he is in love with or he's opened his heart to. However, something on the right side is causing him a burden. I'm not sure if it's this gentleman here or just another man in general. I'm not sure if there's competition, but he does have his whole frontal sexual organ area lit up in both hips here. So he's not feeling supported, male or female. And he's very possibly sexually active with whoever this bunny is that he's holding close to his heart. I would like to think it's the girl at the top. And the reason I say that is because all these people are between. And that's what he seems to be looking at. I could be wrong. It could be this girl here. And I think this is a girl. I could be wrong. It could be a guy. I'm not 100% certain. And this girl or guy here seems to be holding these two together with her hands or his hands behind, I should say their hands behind their back. They look shocked, surprised, and these are our three main characters here. Sexual organs are activated here. Big nose there, could very possibly him. These are the only two that I see connecting on that level with that, even though I don't have them drawn anywhere together here, but it would not surprise me if those are the two in play and he's kind of assessing the situation and something's going on with this and these two are discussing something pertaining to these guys. That being said, the other thing is this very well could be. Well, at first I thought this was maybe her rejecting her femininity and the principle of femininity. But on second account, I think these two may possibly be together. And it may be a male that is with this male and there's talk about it. That is a possibility. I don't feel that way, though. I feel like it's more daughter, but I could be wrong again. Either way, he or she is not digesting whatever situation is going on between these two very well. And I do think these two are these two here. I think it's a parental unit. You can kind of see them on their sides. He's on her right. I'm going to say her because if it is a male, he's in the feminine masculinity. If it's a female, she is a female. But she has got her, what I would say her father on her right side and her mother on her left. They're upset. And in a second, we'll get into what they're upset about. But she's not digesting any of this. And she is active with someone over here. And now I see this. Here we go, right here. I didn't see that till just now either. I think, here they are. Yeah, that's the two of them together, I bet. That's two of them as one. That's this guy with the nose, and this is her here. The two of them are together. That's on the leg on the hip. She's not feeling very supportive, or he is not feeling very supportive in this relationship. And it's possible because these two are arguing about something also. So there's that. Now let's go back over to the main gentleman in question. The face represents what you present to the world, and he's got this kind of worried smile on his face, so that may be what he is presenting. But that's also his feminine side on the left there. And on the left, he is very, very worried. And on the right side, he's very, very worried about different things. He's almost extremely sad here on this left side. I probably should extend that. He looks like he's just sad in general. He doesn't look like he has a lot of happiness going on right now. On the right side, he looks concerned and worried. There's not a lot going on in his head. He's got a little frustration and anger, but I think that's her energy projecting into his hair. Above him, he's got this guy he's talking to. Looks like his buddy. They've got their arms kind of crossed around each other. And now I'm seeing this kind of guy or girl, one or the other. I can't really tell. Somebody is squished in between them, trying to root their way in between. I could take that as one of two things. There's a rumor coming in that's got him all upset and in his head, and it's getting between their friendship. Or it could have something to do with this entire group here, and it's causing an issue for them, or they're causing an issue for him. Either way, he's not digesting it well. His joy is being sucked out of him. He may be having some issues with his appendix or his gallbladder area. He's not feeling supported on the right side, possibly didn't like what his friend had to say. It's weighing very heavily on his heart. But if you look, it's the bunny rabbit that's here on his heart, or the female. I think that's her on his heart. That's holding him heavy, and he's kind of keeping his mouth shut, but he's looking at her, but not speaking. So his throat chakra is blocked, like he can't talk. So maybe he knows about something going on that he cannot tell her. I'm not sure what that would be, but something's got him keeping his mouth closed very, very tight. That something could also be whoever or whatever this is on his chin, mouth, cheek here. And that may be that he doesn't want to present something to the world that is not what it is, or he wants to present something that is not, or that is what it is. So it's kind of, he's definitely hiding something. You can tell because he's holding his hands, which are grasping, clutching, holding on to things. So he's definitely holding on to the masculine and feminine side, both. His arm movement forward, he's holding the left side, not moving forward with something pertaining to the feminine side or the woman. And his thumb's a little extended, which is worry, and his, looks like his index finger right here is a little bit raised, which would be relationship. So maybe his relationship he's worried about. There's this one here is fear and ego. So he's in his fear and ego moving forward with a relationship with a female, whether it be this woman, which seems to be his partner, or one of these, or someone over here. But it doesn't look like he's sexually active. It doesn't look like he is like thinking about anything pertaining to that nature. The only rabbit he has is keeping him very quiet around his mouth, and it could be her not letting him speak about something. That's the other thing. I do see in his digestive system, he's having trouble processing something. He's very angry, and he's having issues with that. And then I do see a small little tiny bunny here, but it's not on his reproductive system. It's more in his digestive area, so he may either be having trouble digesting the fact of not having a relationship, or of hiding a relationship, or digest the fact of a rumor, which is possible because he's looking at this group here, and this gentleman is talking to him. What's in his head is not a woman, it is his friend and his friendship. So if we skip over to the mother, well, I say mother, so if this is her and this is the mother, it looks like it could be. She is definitely standing in a very upset and frustrated way. She's looking at him like he's betrayed her. On her right side, she's taking action as if it's a betrayal. On the left side, she's very sad and almost lethargic. She's almost just like she just doesn't care. She's just done. She's just too tired to deal with anything. Maybe it's not the first time. Maybe it's not the first rodeo with another woman or a rumor. But in her right side, in her hair, is his energy, which is why I think this is her energy here. And he's kind of clueless, whereas she's angry. In her head, she's thinking about him, it looks like, with this girl here. And possibly this girl also. And then she's got him with his heart portrayed to these women here, it looks like, more so. And there's like a bunny here, so I guess she thinks this one is the bunny. And she has this vision, and there's a little horse there and a bunny here, and so two bunnies. So she has this vision that he is off escapading with women, and whoever this group is, I think it's with them. See, I didn't see these here. So this girl seems to be with this guy, and this girl possibly is with this one, and this is her with glasses on, possibly. Not quite sure. Either way, the women are not looking at him. They're looking in a different direction completely. This one down here, if it is not this one, looks sad looking at him. He looks happy and bright, like there's no issue, and he's absolutely clueless, whoever he is. And he just looks kind of concerned, but in his own world, because he's thinking about his bunny, which I think is this one. Mainly because their emotions and their activity lines up. That being said, it looks like a bunny is coming between them. The bunny is pushed up against his leg, though, which doesn't mean necessarily that he's sexually active. It could mean, though, that someone is trying to wedge their way in between, and it could be for reasons that have nothing to do with sex. It could be teasing. It could be to get something. It could be just because they're a flirt and that's who they are. Now, who the actual bunny rabbit is, I don't know, because it doesn't portray it, and you can't very well see that. She is obviously upset, but she's speaking her piece, and her mouth may be shut, but her throat chakras are wide open. There's a little irritation in it, but it's open. Either that or she's holding in some, well, maybe she is holding in a few words here, not wanting to speak to him. Angry. Her heart's angry at him. She's mad. She's frustrated. You can see it all through here. She's keeping a tight eye on him. She's got her hand, has him on it, and she's holding very, very tightly, and her middle finger is kind of raised there with her thumb. You can see that. And she's very angry. I say she's covering up her stomach, so she's covering up the fact that she's having a lot of trouble digesting this, but she really kind of has it more so up on her diaphragm area than she does her stomach. So with it being the diaphragm, maybe she's having a hard time breathing and actually taking in the idea of what's happening. I know the lungs are life and they bring air in, but the diaphragm makes the air move through. So maybe she's locked up through the diaphragm and in the rib area. Maybe it's just putting a lot of pressure in here. She might be slightly constipated. But see, the interesting thing with her is her pinky is up here, and I see her pinky moved over here too. And that could be pretending, but it can also be family. So that's what tells me I think this is her family, possibly her husband, and it could be a daughter involved. It may not be. But I think she's very concerned about her family unit, and she's angry. And she's angry at a female, but I don't think she knows who to be angry at exactly. And I could be wrong. She may think it is a specific female, and that's got him upset, and that's why these two are talking. Or she thinks it's one thing, and he's completely in his head about something different. Either way, left side, he is not talking about whatever this is. He has got his mouth quite shut about who this is. And he may see her as a sexual object and a rabbit, but they are not sexually active. That being said, coming down on her hips, and her outfit's a little low. The kind of jacket is hanging down below her hips here. She's not feeling supported by the male or this male here, her husband. You can see him there on the right side. And there's a female here on her left that she doesn't feel supported by. So she is not seeming to be doing too well, is feeling, she's kind of holding herself, like she's protecting herself, like she feels alone, like there's nobody to side with her. Maybe she has a fear of going forward in major decisions, and she doesn't, and it could be that she really has nothing to move forward to at the age she is. She looks younger here and a little older here, and it could be more stress. But sometimes when people have been married for a while, if they're angry enough to leave and there's nothing to move forward to, they stay together because it's just what it is at this point, and they're not going to change much of anything. Either way, it's putting the burdens of the world on him, and she's probably having hip issues right and left. Would not surprise me if there's stuff going on in the back, and she's also having trouble just digesting the whole thing in general. Maybe he's being a smartass about it because this is a big grin on her digestive system. And I think she thinks he's happy about it, or he's gotten to her. But she's got a whole slew of emotions going here. Would not surprise me if her lymph system has bucked up also. I see this little thing right here under her arm. That's why I say that, where one of the lymph areas could be. I know there's ports up behind the pec there. So she could be having issues with the lymph system. And even right here, she could be having some issues going on in that shoulder too on the left side, because the females put the burdens of the world on her. I don't see him having an affair with her. He may find her sexually attractive, but I don't see him trying to hit on her. I don't see any of that happening. What this conversation is about, I cannot tell you. There is someone in between, but it looks like a male. It looks like this guy here in between the two of these guys as part of the conversation. And I can't quite get, and there may be a female here in the middle too, but they're kind of stacked on each other. It's like these two have come between this friendship almost. And I really think it's these two or these two, but I can't guarantee that 100%. But the reason I say these two, because she looks more like, well, they could be either one of them, couldn't it? If it's your story, you're going to know. So this, I want to say daughter, child, or friend is trying to keep the two of them together. It's causing the burdens of the world on this person who wants to be supported going forward with what I think is this guy, or with the lifestyle choices that they have chosen. And that might be a whole different thing. She may think it has to do with her when it has absolutely nothing to do with her or him. She's got a lot going on around her that she is not being supported with. So it may be lifestyle choices for her that the family's not supporting her with. However, as much as she thinks she's the problem, I don't think she has anything to do with it, unless this is her friend group. But I really think she thinks something's going on with him. And this one probably thinks it's her. She's not digesting the fact of what's happening, or possibly a rumor about her father, or what her mother has told her about her father. She may not believe it. She may not be sure what she thinks. Again, the mother is sitting here thinking of a bunny rabbit and her husband, and which one it is. I don't think she knows who it is. I think she's trying to figure that out. If she knew, I think that this would have come out as a picture of a female versus an actual rabbit. And he's thinking, I think, about his friend and his friendship. So I think she thinks he's this deep in his head about some woman when he's really upset about a friend. I don't think the friends are sexually active. I don't think he's cheating on her with another man. That does not seem to be the case here. It does seem like somebody's in between, and he seems, see that there? There it is here. So he is not digesting well whatever they're talking about. And whatever they're talking about is upsetting his heart. So something this gentleman's not digesting well and something he is not taking well. It's just breaking his heart. So it could have something to do with this group. And it could have something to do with just one in this group. And it could be his child is involved in something that is heartbreaking to him. And she's upset because she thinks it's something else. The reason I say she's not upset about the child is because she sees her husband here with 2 females. And I think she's more upset that it's another woman when it's something else going on. And he may be hiding something from her, but I don't think it's what she thinks it is. I don't think it's a sexual partner. Maybe he tried to help this group with something. Maybe he got involved financially with something he shouldn't have, or something that was harmless, but has caused a lot of rumor. Yeah, here, look, you see he's got the bunny right here too. Ooh, that's a hot little sassy bunny too. Maybe he got involved in something he shouldn't have. But again, I don't see him being active or anything of that nature. So I'm not quite sure what the... I think that's the problem. I think she thinks it's one thing. He can't talk about it. And it's really not what she thinks it is. But here he is with this bunny. Here's the interesting thing. She's not digesting him well, or the fact of being his bunny. She's not digesting that well at all. Maybe she's not digesting being his bunny very well either. So the front of the body represents the digestive system. That's the interior part of the body. That's ideas, ideals, the ability to choose between what is and what isn't suitable. So maybe she is hitting on him, but trying to be with him while she hits on him. And that's got her upset, and he's a little confused about the whole thing. And she may be doing it for a different reason. She may be doing it just because she wants money, other than that she's interested. So I did say both of these two, and even her, you can see it down here, have stuff going on in the reproductive area. Well, that's also the power of fertility and creativity. It's very possible these two are doing spell work to affect him to give, and it's an illusion. Illusions can be spell work also, or it's just an illusion that they're causing to get him to donate to them. I don't know their story. All I can tell you is the emotions that are in there. What I do know is he is not sexually active with anyone in this picture, including his wife right now. And it may be the age, which is one thing, but I don't think he's cheating on her. However, whatever his behaviors are, it's enough that it's gotten her upset. And it doesn't seem to be something that she's surprised about. It seems something that's really been weighing on her heavily, that she wants him to nip in the bud. But I think she has extended what's going on in her head more than what it actually is. I think it's more illusion and speculation and projection, and he's being deluded than I do it being her issue with him being with someone. I do think the bunny is snuggling up to him and nuzzling up to him, and there may be 2 bunny rabbits. There may be 2 of them doing that. That's very possible. But again, I don't think it's for the reasons that he would like it to be, if that be the case, or that she thinks it is. So that being said, if this is a completely different character and this is the daughter holding everything together, you see down around her legs, she can't move forward very well. She's got all this clutter of people around her down here. And the reproductive organs on her are going nuts. And again, that's her feminine power, fertility, and creativity. And she may be feeling stifled trying to keep these two together, or she's in the middle of their fighting and their mess and their drama, but she's trying to play peacemaker. So that's what I see. Even pulling out of that, this one was a really cut and dry one as far as the characters and the people in it. I do think that these two are up to something, just not sure what. Not sure at all, actually. I don't think they want you to know, or anyone to know, us to know, I should say. But she is definitely walking in her rabbitness, her bunny rabbitness, or her sexuality. And it's definitely causing an issue. All right, guys, that is your sketch today. I hope everyone has a wonderful Mother's Day. And if this is truly a mother, then just know he has not cheated on you. Does not mean he's not flirting, and it does not mean that this one is not working her magic. But I don't think he has jumped ship, and I don't think he's cheated, and I don't think this scenario is valid. I think it's in her head. I do think there's some talk, though, which is why she's in her head and why his friend is talking to him. That would be my assumption off of this sketch. All right, I hope you guys have a wonderful Mother's Day. As she is kind of drowning in that pool of people there that are not very supportive of her on either side. I don't think they're supporting either one of these two on either side with this. That might be what it is. There's a lot of chatter. All right, guys, enjoy your Mother's Day, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks.